All right, today we're putting on our detective hats. We're about to investigate one of the biggest mysteries in the entire world of books.
Seriously, just think about that for a minute. What if the next great novel, something truly groundbreaking, was written and then just poof, forgotten, gone from our shelves, vanished from our memory? It sounds kind of crazy, right? But believe me, it happens way more than you'd ever guess.
So that's our mission today. We're going on a deep dive to figure out why. What are these invisible forces that can just erase a masterpiece? I mean, take a book like Stoner by John Williams. It came out in 1965, got some decent reviews, but sold, get this, less than 2,000 copies. It was out of print in a year. Just vanished. How on earth does that happen? Well, let's start digging. Okay, every good investigation needs a prime suspect, and our suspect number one is maybe the most powerful force of all. Just shifting tastes.
And this really all comes down to a fancy term called the cultural zeitgeist. It's basically the vibe of an era, right? The spirit of the age. It's that invisible current that makes certain ideas, certain styles feel super relevant and exciting. And if a book nails that zeitgeist, it can be a massive hit. But here's the catch. When the vibe changes, that once popular book can suddenly feel, well, old.
And you can see this so clearly when you look at what we read. Think about it. Way back when, epic poems about heroes and nations, those were the blockbusters. They were all about this big, collective identity. Fast forward to today, and what are we obsessed with? Dystopian sci-fi, stuff that taps right into our anxieties about tech, society, and the individual fighting back. It's a completely different focus, and those old epics, they just don't hit the same way for a lot of us anymore. So this leads to a pretty wild conclusion, doesn't it? The whole idea of a timeless masterpiece? It's kind of a myth. It turns out a book's survival isn't just about how good it is. It's about whether it can keep connecting with people as their values and worries change generation after generation.
But hey, shifting tastes can't take all the blame. It's time to bring in our second suspect, or maybe I should say a group of suspects. I'm talking about the gatekeepers, the powerful institutions that basically control what we get to read.
And these guys have some serious power to make a book vanish. Let's look at their methods. First up, you've got critical neglect. This is when academics and critics decide what goes into the literary canon. You know, that list of must-read classics. If your book doesn't make the cut, oof, it's on a fast track to being forgotten. Then there are publishing priorities. At the end of the day, publishing is a business. It's almost always easier and more profitable to push something brand new than to keep an old book in print. And finally, translation barriers. A book could be the biggest masterpiece ever in its home country. But if it gets a bad translation or no translation at all, the rest of the world will never even know it exists.
Okay, so things might seem a little bleak for forgotten books, but don't worry, this story has a twist. Because just as easily as a book can disappear, it can also be brought back from the dead. We are living in an amazing era of literary revival. And one of the biggest comeback tools, let's call it the adaptation advantage. A movie, a hit TV series, heck, even a video game can grab a book that no one's heard of, put it on screen, and suddenly, boom, a whole new generation of fans is born.
And I'm not kidding, the effect is absolutely massive. A book can be sitting on a dusty shelf for years, with almost no one reading it. Then a great adaptation comes along and its popularity just explodes. All of a sudden, everyone is rushing out to read the book that started it all.
And it's not just Hollywood. We are all part of this incredible digital renaissance. Tech has totally changed the game. Think about it. Online book clubs, forums on Reddit, Goodreads, digital libraries. All of these things let us, the readers, bypass those old gatekeepers. Passionate fans on social media can bring a book back all by themselves. In fact, that's exactly what happened with Stoner. Decades after it was forgotten, people started talking about it online, creating this massive word-of-mouth buzz that turned it into a huge bestseller. How cool is that?
So, okay, what does all this mean for you and me? Well, this isn't just some history lesson. This is really a call to action. It's a call to become a literary treasure hunter.
And here's the most important thing to remember. Those must-read lists, they're just a starting point. They are not the final word. The real magic happens when you decide to go off the beaten path and explore what else is out there. Because you, yes, you have a huge role to play here. So next time you're looking for something to read, look past the usual suspects. Find your own hidden gems. And when you discover a book you love that nobody's talking about, shout it from the rooftops. Tell your friends, post it online. You never know. Your recommendation could be the spark that brings a masterpiece back to life.
So I'll leave you with this. There are literally thousands of incredible stories out there just waiting to be found. The only question left is, which forgotten masterpiece are you going to rediscover?